Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Commodity TV for you at Precious Metals Summit Conference here in Zurich, November 2025. We want to talk now to Dan Symons, whom we know from Argonaut Gold from former times, but now with C3 Metals, and he's the CEO and president, and give us an insight. Hey, welcome. Good to see you again.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. C3 Metals, I saw you are in Jamaica and Peru, but especially Jamaica is of interest because I think you are one of the first movers there, right?
We are, absolutely. Yeah, the company acquired 210 square kilometers of exploration licenses along a major fault zone that bisects the island of Jamaica. Raised a lot of eyebrows at the time, being the first mover going for copper gold exploration. But now with another private company, Barrick, and now Freeport in country, I think people are starting to see what we saw.
Yeah, fantastic. So we talk about copper gold, not only Jamaica rum, that's for sure. But please elaborate a bit on your project there. I saw also you have an earn-in agreement with Freeport-McMoRan. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest players here in the world. So please give us an insight here.
Yeah, so we did all the boots on the ground work, geologic mapping, geochemical data collection, and the rock and soil geophysics. And we identified 16 porphyry prospects over a 30-kilometer strike extent. And when we think about porphyries, they're usually very big, very capital intensive, but all the major companies love them because they're economic. They go for decades and decades and decades. And looking at what we had in front of us in 2022 and 2023, we drill tested 4 of those 16. We were hitting good mineralization, but the geology was saying drill some deeper holes, similar to like Filo de Sol in Argentina and what they did. So when we saw that, we really spent most of 2014 talking to several major parties about coming in and partnering with us. And at the end of the day, we selected Freeport. They're earning in up to 75% by funding $75 million US into the project.
Fantastic. I mean, you couldn't have a bigger partner in that sense.
The largest copper producer in the world.
Exactly, that's for sure. And so the earn-in is on the one hand, that's fine. Yeah, they have to finance all of that. So what is, let's say, your time plan? What do you want to get achieved? And what's going on then for 2026 and following?
Yeah, so what we've been doing right now is we've been evaluating and ranking some of these drill prospects. We've been doing some scouting. We have a man-portable drill rig there that we drill about 500 meters depth, so we've been doing some of that. We have some assays pending. Concurrent with that, we've been running a 3D IP program, which can see the sulfide minerals at least to 700 meters, if not 1,000 meters deep, because we're planning for a deep drill program in 2026. So we're finalizing budgets and things right now in real time, but it looks like we're going to do about 10,000 meters of drilling in 1,000+ meter type holes into these deeper anomalies, because we can see from surface as we've gone deeper in some of the holes, the grade's getting better, and we really want to try and get into the guts or the bornite core of this system.
Okay, wow, fantastic. So that means like we talk about a multi-year plan here, of course, yeah?
Yes.
What happens if Freeport then really fulfills those 75 million, has then the 75%, you remain the 25%? Do you have also an NSR then on the future production? How does that work?
So at that point we would fund pro rata, 75 and 25. But one of the things I think about, and I'm not saying this will definitely happen in our case, but if you think about these types of agreements, typically what ends up happening is a large company comes in, they make a sizable investment. If they like what they're seeing, the junior doesn't usually end up remaining. You usually negotiate an exit price because as much as they like us as people, they don't want a 25% partner. They would want all of it.
Of course.
So that's the most likely outcome with success here. And we have other assets in the portfolio. We have a gold project in Jamaica as well. We have a big project in Peru that we're working on. So we have a multi-asset portfolio.
Exactly. That would be also my next question. Let's talk about gold in Jamaica then. What's going on there?
So actually just to the west of where we have the earn-in with Freeport, we partnered with a local Jamaican private company called Geophysics Jamaica Limited. We had some ground. They had some ground surrounding us. The ground that they had actually the only past-producing gold mine known in Jamaica called the Pennants gold mine. It was a really small-scale operation that was bootstrapped together in the early 2000s, closed in 2004. But what caught our attention was the historic resource grade was running at 20 grams per ton, so very high grade.
Wow.
So by last year, in March, we did a deal with Geophysics We each contributed equal parts of ground. We put this together because it looked like we each had part of this low sulfidation epithermal gold system. And now we put it into a 50-50 joint venture. We each fund it 50%. C3 is the operator. By putting the properties together, we have a 5-kilometer gold trend now with that old mine in the center of it. And we're smack dab in the middle. We've done 7 holes of a 14-hole program. 3 of those holes are now still pending from the lab. The first 4 have been announced, and we're stepping along that 5-kilometer trend with these first 14 holes, and that'll inform what we want to do for a phase 2.
Okay, super. How does it work in Jamaica with, let's say, permitting, the ESG, environmental stuff, all those kind of things? Because honestly, I have no experience about Jamaica.
I think because copper and gold investors were the first people in there, don't recognize Jamaica as a mining jurisdiction. But mining is actually the number 2 industry in Jamaica, and it's derived from a very long-standing bauxite mining industry used to produce aluminum. So there's major bauxite operations in Jamaica for several decades. It was a top 5 producer globally. That industry has been going close to 75 years now. So there's a very good mining law, permitting process, very prescriptive. For us on the exploration side, it's been very good to work. The government's very supportive. Unlimited drill pads, drill holes within your concession areas. It's really go out and get it.
Okay, so you can also go on a fast pace then.
Yes, absolutely. The government's really rooting for us. And part of that is the bauxite industry, because it's been going so long, being the second largest industry, that industry has been in decline. So what the government's hoping to do is, as bauxite inevitably continues to decline and eventually winds up, we all know these are finite resources, they don't last forever, is to bring in other minerals. That can be used and mined to replace those jobs, to help with the revenue coming into the country.
Okay, fantastic. So Jamaica, good standing. That sounds all fantastic. Let's move to Peru.
Yes.
What's going on there?
We picked up, we moved into Peru a few years ago. We acquired a private company to get a first 57 square kilometer footprint. And then we took about 2.5 years to really consolidate around that. So we're up to 310 square kilometers. Unlike Jamaica, we're kind of blazing the copper gold trail. This is a very well-known world-class copper producing belt. We're less than 45 kilometers from the very large Las Bambas mine, operated by MMG. We're also less than 45 kilometers from Hudbay Minerals' Constancia mine. You have Antipaquet, Glencore's operating down the belt. Ironically, Freeport with their second largest producer, Cerro Verde, is on that belt. So, and then in terms of exploration stage companies around us, it's all the big guys. It's BHP, Rio Tinto, Barrick, Fresnillo, First Quantum Minerals. So we're really the junior among the giants there. We identified 15 skarns and a porphyry prospect. We drilled one of the skarns, gave us our first resource, pit-constrained resource, 52 million tons, 0.5 copper, 0.2 gold, which gives us within that pit 570 million pounds of copper, 326,000 ounces of gold. But it was really, as we were expanding our property position, we got really excited about what we call our Khaleesi project on the western side of the property. Arguably, it's our top geologic target in the portfolio. It's never been drill tested. Massive magnetic highs, chargeability highs. We're talking about copper in soils running 0.1% copper in the soils over a kilometer. So we're really, really excited about this. We have drill permits now. We just started drilling at the end of September, so we should start seeing our first results just towards the end of this month here.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's always good. Results always help.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's for sure. So what are your longer term plans then with Peru? Is that something where you say, let's do the exploration, and with our neighbors, then we should see how that goes?
Yeah, look, we know who we are. I don't think Little C3 Metal's out to build a big porphyry skarn type mine. We're out to find it and add value through the drill bit, and that's really what we want to do. So while we're surrounded by major companies, and several of them have already called and are very interested in what we're doing, we want to go out and test the low-hanging fruit, which for us is the first 500 meters, and see what we're dealing with.
Super.
We did that in Jamaica, if you think about it. We spent 2 years drilling. We tested that. We said, okay, the geology tells us deep holes. We bring in a major partner in Freeport. If we get onto something that's within the first 500 meters where we're seeing ore grades, we'll hit it hard ourselves and add value through resource delineation. If we need deeper holes, we have lots of optionality to bring in a partner, which would be a pretty competitive process, I believe, with where we are.
Okay, super. Is that also one of the reasons, because you are always in elephant territory, surrounded by the elephants, and now you work with the elephant also, that you have such a great shareholder book?
I think the projects certainly help having where we are. I think it's understanding where, that we have a multi-asset portfolio, so we have lots of different irons in the fire. The question used to be, well, how are you going to fund it all? But by bringing in Freeport as a partner, really alleviated that concern, and now it's very clear of how we're going to fund these different projects. And I think for us, we're out looking for deposits. I've spent half my career with an operating company, so we know what, within a certain tonnage target of rock, what's the probability of the grade of the mineralization need to be for economic viability, and that's how we think about things. So we think about it from the operating company's perspective. When we're conducting exploration, what do they need to see? And that's why we're going after really big projects, because we're trying to attract the really big companies.
Fantastic. I love to hear that. And yeah, all the best for you. Please keep us informed and hit us with good news. And I think it looks terrific what you guys are doing.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dan. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dan Symons from C3 Metals, the CEO, and you heard it. Elephant territory, surrounded by elephants and elephant projects, and that's exactly what you want to see, and Dan knows exactly what they want to see. And with Freeport-McMoRan already in Jamaica as an earn-in partner for 75%, for $75 million, that is fantastic, and still a lot of optionality in the company. So please check it out. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Zurich from Precious Metal Summit.